Welcome back. Officially month 19, slow traveling Southeast Asia, currently in the Philippines. I guess I've been here coming up on 90 days. So if you follow the vlog, the house I've been living at, the tank that holds the water from the well is rusted very badly and it started to leak. It was leaking a little bit. I mean, the patio there was pretty wet. The AC's above it, so it, the condenser dumps water, so I really didn't feel like the tank was leaking, but it was definitely leaking. But now it's spraying. I told the landlord, it's been about a week now. There was some weirdness as to, are you gonna fix it? What's gonna happen? No response from him. And then he comes back and says, basically it's the tenant's responsibility to fix it. So, what do I know about wells and pumps and tanks? Nothing. Frankly, I'm not sure what to do. I'm, the water's not working, so I have about just over 2 weeks here left on my rent. It's not terrible, right? I could turn on long enough to fill the toilet or, use the bidet to, hose off my rear end or whatever. But this is my opinion of the situation, and this is why I don't sign leases in foreign countries. I normally just say, hey, look, I'm a foreigner. Anything can happen. I could lose my debit card and have to go home. I could get sick and have to go home. Anything can happen within that year. And frankly, the last thing I really need is legal weirdness. And this doesn't have any legal protections, on my side. What am I gonna do? Right? And this applies to the United States too. When I moved into the condo in El Paso, frankly, I was unwilling to sign a lease then too. And of course they raised the rent a lot and I said, no thanks. And I moved on. And maybe some of you even feel like, well, this is what Airbnb would be useful for, or Agata, right? But they offer no protections. The last couple places that I rented on Airbnb before just completely quitting them, I got no protection. I ran a place, the couch was busted, the AC was leaking on the bed, saturating the bed. The landlord was from China, and I showed Airbnb everything, and of course, no help. So that's no help. This is normally not a problem though. Look, I go, look, I'm a foreigner, gladly pay your rent. Here's the money. a normal, to rent a place over here, you would need the rent, a deposit, and last month's rent. Me not being, at all familiar, many of the places that are posted online are from an agent. And then there's this weirdness around that because then you get to meet the owner, and the owner wants to cut out the agent, and the agent wants 40%, which means there's a better deal on the table. And this is, this is most of the rest of the world. I mean, the United States is a completely different rental situation. But here I am. I mean, I got 2.5 weeks, close to 3 weeks here, looking for another place to live till I reach the 180 days in which I will exit and continue traveling. The cost here is 10,000 pesos. I did the conversions, running me about $170. I may misquote it in some of the other videos, but the conversion rate has moved a lot based on the dollar, and a lot of interesting inflation going on, including potatoes and tomatoes. Sorry, I just burned some chicken earlier, and the chili is in the air. But, so costs are rising. I don't quite know what to do. It's a lot of work to go out and look for a place. That's why I'm up. Normally I sleep all day because I work all night. But I still stand by, I mean, if you're going to do this, live abroad, live in Southeast Asia, you're much better off without a contract. And I'm sure just the fact that you're a foreigner will be enough in most cases. I've never not had it be enough. A good example is Jeffy Poo just moved 2 months ago. The landlord tried to pin on a lot of things that he may or may not have damaged. The agent accused him of being a bad tenant and was very rude. I don't know the whole scenario, wasn't there, but I visited his apartment on many occasions, and I mean, he furnished the place minimally. So, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot that could go wrong. I mean, it was nice and clean, so I can't imagine what they want, but he didn't get his deposit back. Actually, I've never gotten a deposit back on a rental. I've rented in Mexico. I've rented in the Philippines. I've rented many places around the world, and never had my deposit returned. It was always the foreigner runaround situation. So I just don't do it anymore. It's weirdness. You sign a contract, you have beef in another country. So anyway, we'll be updating the vlog about what happens. I don't know quite how many days I have left here. I gotta look at that, and then I gotta try to find a place that will fit into my situation. There are plenty. I mean, it really is. So the comes down to where I want to live. Is it furnished? Does it have good internet and some AC? And normally the terms are worked out with the owner. Mainly looking at houses. Condos normally have, stronger terms. Working with the landlords normally better. And actually, the houses, you can rent a house $100 to $200 a month easily. And to move in will likely cost me under $500. And sometimes a strategy that I've used in the past is to sweeten the deal on my side. Is I will make a deal for normally 3 months. If I like the place, I normally make a deal for 3 months versus the put down deposit in first to last month. And I go, look, I'll give you this amount of money, and if I love it, I'll stay. If I don't, I'll move on before the 90 days. And that has worked well for me. And normally it's enough money where the landlord is into it. But it's really strange that the landlord here wouldn't be interested in fixing the tank, right? I mean, I pay. I'm no longer gonna pay. And I'm gonna move, and he's gonna have to fix it when I leave. So, there's that. We have no contract. So... it's just like an Airbnb or something, other than we have no middleman. But I think that's all I got for you today. Questions and comments below, and I'll catch you on the next video.